Now, the moment you do so, you must then realize you are walking in the corridors of evil. And in these corridors of evil, what do we say is actually in charge? It is the devil. That is the only time the devil gets you, and he doesn't get you by actually forcing you. He exploits. Remember the story in the Gethsemane? When Jesus was at the top of his holiness, the devil knew this is who he is. And the devil knew he couldn't actually force him. So what does the devil do? He waits for that moment when Jesus was completing his 40 days and nights fasting. And obviously, yes, you can't blame Jesus at that point in time. If it was you start thinking of food, isn't it? So the devil waited for that moment when Jesus was actually finishing his fasting. He knew Jesus was now hungry. He must have thoughts of food in his mind. So this is the time when the devil comes. And then he goes, Jesus, I understand you are God's son. You've got all these powers. Why don't you turn the stones into bread? Why? It's because the devil knew at that point in time Jesus was actually starting to think he was in the corridors of food. And the devil knew I could actually try, sneak in with an idea, a suggestion, and try to encourage him. But of course, because Jesus was fully balanced, the way he was created with the Father, with the power of the Holy Spirit and himself, dedicated, focused, and on the ball. Never took his eye off the ball. That's who he was. And he kept on walking and walking and walking. And he was fully balanced. So the devil fell flat on his face. Because Jesus was balanced. There was no way the devil could unhinge him by trying to influence him. What do you think would have happened if it was Petrus? What do you think would have happened? I would have said, of course, yes, devil, thank you. Let me just turn the stones into bread. Because I would have been hungry. I did 40 days, 40 nights. That's no joke, isn't it? Petrus would have actually used the power that the Father has given him. But by so doing, he was going to unhinge and balance himself. Because he's a balanced person as God has given him, created him. So doubt chips off our faith, in as much as fear throws us out of balance with the balance that God has given us. So when you walk in these two corridors, there is only one thing. What do you think is the sure thing here? You walk in fear, you walk in doubt. The sure thing is what I call myself, that is a cocktail for disaster. A Christian who walks in fear, a Christian who walks in doubt, is actually a cocktail for disaster. Sooner or later, I'm going to be history. You will say, yeah, we saw him when he came from Zimbabwe. He came and preached to us. But as long as I have doubt, I have fear, it is only a question of time. Because I am walking unbalanced. I have actually unhinged what God has put in me. So when I do so, I'm defying the order of God. So when you defy the order of God, you will not get far. There is a reason why God created you in balance. Why God said, I have not created you with a spirit of fear. Understand it is a spirit. That's why we're talking it is a corridor. Evil corridor. I have not created you with a spirit of fear, timidity, but I created you with a spirit of sound mind, power, and love. So now let's go back to our scenarios.